Qapla, everyone. It is Friday, and yes, the microphone is on. Welcome to Bed Life. Thomas Potts with a $1.99 super chat. Rip Charlie X character. Yes. I had the article up. We're going to talk about it. Where did it go?
Who's been holding up the damn elevator?
You gotta be kidding me. Come on, this worked a minute ago. Anyway, thank you, Thomas. I'll get to the chats in just a second. But I did have the... Don't tell me it's unavailable. It's perfectly fine. Son of a bitch. Robert Walker Jr. passed away yesterday. Famous as the actor and the son of Hollywood stars, passed away at 79. Charlie X, the teenager on the Enterprise that Captain Kirk had to be a father figure to. 79 years old and passed away. Well, obviously, William Shatner, thank goodness, is still with us. Uhura is still with us. Chekhov, the old Chekhov, ironically, is still with us. Young Chekhov has passed because his Jeep killed him. But, yeah. And, of course, George Takei. Sulu's still with us. But Charlie X dead. A day after DC Fontana, who wrote the Charlie X episode. So, yeah, that's... I'll be honest. Charlie X is not one of my favorite episodes. And I know, Marlena, if you hear or you ever see this, Charlie X is definitely one of your favorite episodes. I get it. I do. And other people, I'm sure Charlie X is a favorite episode. It was not a favorite of mine. But rip to the actor. It's not his fault. It's not his fault that, in my opinion, he had a shitty character. But whatever. Anyway, Yosef was early and says rant time error. It's okay, Yosef. They're coming. Thomas Potts says hi. Welcome, Thomas. I think he was first at 4:56 p.m. Rock Solid Productions is unsubscribing. Okay, Rock Solid. I guess you're unsubscribing because you were second to Thomas. Life with Matthew says, hey, Berto Pray 5 and fellow nerds. Hey, welcome, Life with Matthew. And Life with Matthew, I did just get finished watching your part 5 of the Mandalorian review. Even though I don't watch The Mandalorian, I feel like I do because I watch your reviews. I really don't have much to say about it. I mean, yeah, it's a very good review. Mike with Matthew always does very good reviews. I think a few minutes in, you missed you missed one edit that you kept in. But I forgot the timestamp. I was going to comment on it. But The Mandalorian just, doesn't mean much to me. But I like watching Life with Matthew's reviews, so I feel like I've seen it. Dongo plays Rec Room. Welcome, Dongo. Welcome back. Assuming you're related to the Dongo that was here before, which of course you must be. And Dongo says hi to Thomas. Mike Richards says greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. And yes, Dongo says, guess who's back? I've guessed correctly, I assume. Josh Streets is down with the evil bird of prey, eater of beagle bites and alpaca bites. I can't believe Cinnabon or Trek95 tweeted Cinnabon's. Here. So, son of a bitch. It's gone again. Where is it? So Cinnabon created this change.org petition that sat with just 3 people had signed it for months. And then Trek95 retweeted it to Doomcock and Nerdrotic and several other people. And Nerdrotic yesterday signed the petition. And I got an email with a picture that Nerdrotic has signed it, because you can't see publicly the names of people who sign it. Apparently on change.org, I guess they don't let you see that anymore. So, but I got a picture, and sure enough, it said Gary Beekler's name, and, you know, Gary from Nerdrotic doesn't hide his real name. So on one of Gary's streams yesterday, I simply super chat him, "Did you really sign the petition? No other details." And he laughed. He said, "Yes, I did. Yes, I did sign the petition, Bird of Prey." And he knew exactly what the hell I was talking about. And then Cinnabon put in a super chat and said that, yeah, more people need to sign to change. The petition is to have me change my name from Bird of Prey 5 to Alpaca O Prey 5. And Cinnabon did this whole video for it. Hi there, Joe. Joe, we wish to help you. We love you. Feel our power. Embrace us and walk again. And visit birdofprey5.com with some really weird image effects. So we're up to 10 signatures, including Sister O'Prey and Gary from Nerdrotic. Yeah. Cinnabon Bunny says hello. Speaking of the devil, Rock Solid says, remember people. Oh, Cinnabon today, by the way, he had a record-breaking live stream. He was playing 7 Days to Die, which is a game I can't get into, but his streams are fun nonetheless. And he had a record 10 people on the stream, 9 likes at last I saw him. Maybe he got the 10th, I'm not sure. Kronos was there. Thomas was there. I was there. DJ was there. Wesley was there. And Life with Matthew was there. And I don't know, a few other people. And obviously Cinnabon was there. A few others, I guess. 10 people. It was good times. So check out when Cinnabon streams. Plus, like yesterday, he streamed just a bunny stream, which is better than streaming a game, in my opinion. Rock Solid says, remember people, smash that like button, share via social, chat to live, turn mic and camera on before going live, donate if you can, join the subscribe star, don't abuse emojis, and Jadzia greater than 7 of 9. Yes, I will agree with all of that. And congratulations, Rock Solid, that it's not pixelated today. Usually your last words just run together. It's hard to see. And check out Rock Solid's channel if for some reason, I know he's the big 8,000 plus subscriber channel, but he does some really fun live streams, retro gaming, gaming stuff, all types of stuff, non-retro gaming. Check out Rock Solid. If only he didn't stream so late, I'd be able to make more of his streams. So check out Rock Solid. And Joseph Patrick says, I resub to you by force. Rock Solid. Wow. By force. I don't know who forced him. I'm guessing the force. Rock Solid says, Joseph, son of a bitch. Shromore says, greetings, Bird will pray 5, Mom will pray 5, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Shromore. Rock Solid says, hashtag Dear Bop. Yes, we're going to do Dear Bop. Abajam says, McClunky. Dongo says, I'm back, Bird. I made it. It's Trey. I'm back. Yeah, will the real Trey please stand up? Please stand up. You might be a little young for that, Dongo. Welcome back. Shromore says, and greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels. Yosef is rock solid. Your phone number, please. We'll let you tell it to my mom in person. She is a teacher. Good luck. What? I don't know. Thomas's rant with a seconds of stream. Rant within seconds of a stream. Did I rant? That wasn't a rant. That was a goodbye to Charlie X, Robert Walker Jr. Dongo says Thomas the Pink Bunny. No, Thomas. Dongo, you're misremembering. Thomas was not the Pink Bunny. DJ Odyssey is the Pink Bunny. Not Ryan Johnson says hello and Qapla, and Uncle Remus says Robert Walking Dead. Robert Walker Dead Jr. Yes. Not Ryan Johnson says more dear Bob. Wow. Joseph says Kirk stripped down in front of that perv Charlie, so not sure his father figure. Your father never was unclothed in front of you, Joseph. Wrong Solid says, wait a second, DC Fontana, Robert Walker Jr., these things are always in threes. Who's next? Yeah, that is the question. Shromore says, hail Karoga indeed. Brian McFarland says, hi-de-ho, everybody, hi-de-ho, Brian. Seems like it's been a while since I've said hi-de-ho. Welcome back. Shromore says, remember the alpacamo. Roxanne says, Joseph Petrick's number is 37. Well, to me, he's number 205. Uncle Remus says, Chekhov is still around, but his head looks like Vin Diesel. Dongo says, I'm Trey. I'm back, everyone. I think most people remember, although we have a few new people, Trey/Dongo, so feel free to reintroduce yourself. And Dongo plays Rec Room. Dongo, I'm assuming you're still doing video gaming stuff, so check out Dongo's channel. T-Berg says, hail Berto Prey 5, hail Karogan, down with turds, happy Fridays. Yes, down with turds, indeed. Although, I'm happy to report in Space Engineers, Kroger has complete control of the entire solar system. I'm not even sure there's any turds left, to be quite frank. I just assume declare victory at this point, but we'll give the turds a chance to I don't know, to do something. They haven't attacked anything. Karogan forces have been unchallenged, wiping out turd bases. Rock Solid says Charlie X was a TOS episode, so can't be good. Well, Rock Solid, that is actually, it wasn't great. I will give you that. And I would say that just about every Deep Space Nine episode, in my opinion, is better than Charlie X. But Charlie X is the exception, not the rule when it comes to TOS episodes. Brian McFarland says, Bird of Prey, hi, Bird of Prey. Robert Walker Jr.'s dad was an awesome actor, too. Robert Jr. starred in John Wayne movie, The War Wagon. Very cool. John Titor, Dear Bob, I need to relocate an IBM 5100 to stop the poop maximizer that controls the world in 2049. Where can I find one? You need to locate an IBM 5100. eBay. You got to go to eBay, John. That you find anything on eBay. And if not eBay, AliExpress. Shromore says, hey to Trey. Mr. Captain 93, welcome, Mr. Captain. Says, Bird of Prey. Good hack on the anti-trucker live stream yesterday. That is fake news, false flag. That was anti-trucker hacked himself with fake video, fake audio that he claimed was me singing some type of garbage perv song. Was not me. It was all anti-trucker. He was trying to false flag himself into like a war. He was trying to get sympathy from you guys. I don't hack anti-trucker. Why would I hack Anti-Tracker? I have no reason to hack Anti-Tracker. We don't do those types of things in Garoga. But it was a little funny. I'll give him that. 47 Yorktown says, hello, Mr. Bird. Hello, 47 Yorktown. Joseph says, Mr. Captain, the song is still in my head. Wow. Dongo says, sup, y'all miss me. I was curious, Dongo. I often wondered where you had gone. Hoped you were doing well. T-Berg says, the Mandalorian gives generic Star Wars high of old and numbs the pain of the last 3 movies. Well, at least until that pain is brought right into the light in a couple of weeks. Roxana says Mando is just eh. Yes, but eh is a hell of a lot better than crap and garbage. Right? If we just had meh Star Trek right now, if Captain Picard can be meh, then that is a bajillion times improvement from what we've gotten from Discovery and short tracks. So meh isn't bad comparatively. You know, meh can keep a series going for decades. It might not make might not make $2 billion, but meh Star Wars, it could make $1 billion. And if they just get the budget under control, that's very profitable. Roxanne says Mando is just eh. Yeah, Mando. That's one of my articles, I think. Thomas says Bird of Prey wants to eat Baby Yoda. Don't want to eat Baby Yoda. He doesn't look like he tastes very good. Very bony. And I think he'd have like a fish taste, which... T-Berg says, but requires more and more injections. T-Berg, the Mandalorian gives yes, but it needs more and more injections. Joseph Patrick says, hit the like flock. Thank you, Joseph. Abajam says, Baby Yoda would make a great sandwich. I'm not so sure. Dongo is growing fast. Congratulations, Dongo. Good to hear it. Glad to hear it, in fact. Rock Solid says 2 minutes in, we got our first son of a bitch from Bird. Life with Matthews is Bird of Prey. I totally missed an edit. I laughed when I saw that, but oh well. It keeps me from getting a big head. Yeah, I was gonna mention it. I was like, I missed. Forgot. I think it was around 8 minutes. But I totally missed it. I was like, by the time I'd realized I was so far past it, I was like, it's not worth it. Plus, what does it matter? You know, people don't care. I mean, not that they don't care, but they're not going to stop watching your video because you missed one edit. I watched a video that must have had 50,000 views yesterday from like a big time astrophysicist YouTuber, and she missed 2 edits in the video and had really terrible it wasn't clear at all. Like, she purposely blurred it, so I guess we couldn't see slight imperfections on her skin. Like, anybody who's watching her for astrophysics gives a shit what she looks like. She was still a very attractive person nonetheless. But she was very, very fuzzy, and she missed a couple of edits. And nobody cared, because, you know, we're watching to hear an explanation of how they found the speed of light. We didn't really care about the edits. Or the fuzziness was a little annoying, but whatever. It's like she's worried anybody cares. Dongo says his channel is at almost 500 subscribers. Very awesome, Dongo. Very awesome. Hector says cough. Or cool? Cole? I don't know. But either way, Hector, I agree. Dan23 says, what? I don't know. Mr. Cabinet's Bird of Prey, what's the link for the petition? Yeah, wouldn't you like to know? Don't worry about the link for the petition. Let's see. Here's the link. Here's the link for the petition. But don't sign it. Do not sign the link for the petition. Shrumore says, home in Karoga, where Sassy and the alpacas play, where often is heard an SOB from Bird, and he flips off Turdistan all day. Speaking of flipping off Turdistan, this has nothing to do with that. I got in my next sticker the USS Defiant patch. So that will probably go down here below the heart and the Enterprise. Although I'm waiting to put it on because I also have a Sassy sticker in the works coming. And that should come in the next week or two. So I want to see what size the Sassy sticker is, because I try to find a place where I can put both these stickers in a place. Now, like this, it might be better if it was under the Star Trek, like down here and over. But if the camera was pointed down a little more, you'd be able to see it. So we're going to check. We're not going to put this on just yet. We're going to wait till the other stickers come in and see if I can make them both fit somewhere. Captain MKG says, good afternoon, Bird of Prey. Good afternoon, Captain. Mr. Captain says, hashtag alpaca o prey. T-Berg says, we, the former alpacans, would welcome you, Joe. Well, thank you, T-Berg. Thomas puts in a link to, is that the link to the, yes, it is. It's the link to the petition. So Thomas had already put it. Now we've got 13 signatures. Jesus Christ. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, better check the petition again. Yeah. Aberjam says, Bird, I thought I thoroughly enjoyed your new song, Men's Butts, at the end of Anti-Trekker's last stream. It's nice to finally see out of the That wasn't my song, and that's nothing I would sing. T-Berg says, excuse me, I'm trying to rebuild a small block super turret, and it requires a delicate touch. Have fun. Have fun, T-Berg. Live with Matthew says, Cinnabon, next time you play, Wesley play, give me a shout out so I can join in. Very cool. Yes, Kronos is alive, Hector. Kronos is alive, although he claimed he was quite drunk. But he's alive and he comes to Cinnabon streams. I told him he should come to my streams, but I don't know if he's busy or working or what. But Kronos is alive. He is out there. And maybe I've gotten too big for Kronos. I don't know. Shrelmore says, I was there too for a while. Yes. Shrelmore was there too. I'm sorry, I forgot. T-Berg says, Hector, alpacans forever. Cinnabon says, life with Matthew will do. Surf Tricktronic says, how's it, Bird? When you going to do Watchmen reviews again? Never. Never going to do Watchmen reviews. Not going to watch Watchmen. Watchmen sucks ass. I can't put myself through that. Okay? There, at least Discovery, which I think is terrible, but at least I'm a Trek fan, so I feel like I can watch it, and I feel like if I have something good or bad to say for it, I feel entitled to have an opinion because I know the history, I know the canon, I know much of this stuff forwards and backwards. Watchmen I know so little of. The only thing I ever did was watch the 2009 Watchmen movie about 2 months ago. And that's it. That's all I know about Watchmen. I don't know anything about the comic. I just know that this new series sucks balls, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. No. Yeah, don't expect Watchmen reviews. Dan23 says, when I changed my channel name, it was real difficult. Well, I'm glad you got it through it. Jaws reaches Bird of Prey. I had a video the other day that dethroned sending you to the moon as my most viewed video. Oh, very cool, Josh Street. Yes, I've been seeing you've been uploading videos of various video game playing. So, very, very cool. John DeMarco says, hello all. Welcome, John DeMarco. So, guys, do check out Josh Street, too. In fact, check out everybody. Check out everybody here has a channel. Surf Trictronics has a channel. Everybody here almost has a channel. John DeMarco says, hello all. Cinnabon Bunny says, live with Matthew tomorrow evening. Wes and I. Wes will join me on a 7-day stream. Would you like to join? Wow, 7 days of streaming. That's crazy. Oh, 7 days to die stream. That's different. Live with Matthew says, Cinnabunny, that would be awesome. Thomas says, I don't see new graphics, just clickbait. No, okay. Here are the new graphics. And Thomas going to call clickbait on my new graphics. So, here's the deal. If you had gone to my channel at youtube.com, BirdoPrey5, or user BirdoPrey5, whatever. You go to BirdoPrey5 on YouTube. Up until yesterday evening, this is the graphics you would have seen, which was just my head in the fish tank, and I put BirdoPrey5 across it. I threw in a bird of prey, a Klingon bird of prey, and I called it a day because I was just in a rush to make some graphics. But now, if you refresh the page, which I will do, and this is the last known image, so it will be completely gone forever. So hit Shift and refresh. You'll now get the updated graphics, which looks a lot cooler in my opinion now. Actually, this is on light view. Usually I do YouTube on dark view, so it looks even better. But here we got the BirdoPrey5, which is the same font I use on the BirdoPrey5 web page, and it's even got the little bit of white. Now, it's not exactly the same, but it's because this is just plain text to save place. It's not graphic, but it's the same font with some white shading, shadow. The head graphic, a Klingon bird of prey here, and behind it, it's hard to see, but there's a very light Krogan flag, transparent Krogan flag in the background. And this is actually the full channel art file, but YouTube just takes it from the center for most devices. And depending on how wide your monitor is on a desktop or a laptop or mobile, you could get, just that much in width. Now the height, you can see at the bottom, I've got the Jeep, a rock, the Bell Rock outside Sedona, Arizona, hospital bed, my JUOT logo, forum, and some Frank Sinatra. And at the very top center, BirdoPrey5.com website. But this particular graphic you'd only see apparently if you're looking at the channel on YouTube on a television. And the way this works is if you go to Google and you search for YouTube channel art, you get a zip file. Within it is this PNG file that you download that tells you, like this says TV 2650 by 1440 pixels. Desktop max is the lighter gray. Then the tablet is a little darker gray. And then desktop minimum and mobile is this very close box, which I would be very dark gray, but I cut it out to delete it so I could put this as an overlay on the above graphic so I could see, what was actually going to be shown on the channel. And I said, okay, this is cool. I moved the various things so they all lined up well. And I know that on a desktop screen or a tablet screen, you're going to get the center here with as much extra on the sides as you can. And in the very far background is Karoga City from City Skylines, which is, of course, the same background graphic I use on BirdoPrey5x.com. Not BirdoPrey5x, BirdoPrey5.com. So we're kind of making the graphics match up. And I kind of really like it. I actually really like how it turned out. Although on the full size, you can more easily see the Karogan flag transparency than you can see here. But it is there. It is there. And if we made this wider, you would see, even more of it. So those are the new graphics, Thomas. Not clickbait. Legit. Okay, let's keep going. Called clickbait. Cinnabon says, I'll leave you message in the stream later. We can figure it out. T-Berg says, I don't see turds anymore. Clickbait engineers. Yeah, I think the turds have abandoned the game. I'm not sure. Joseph says, vertebrae, explanation, read carefully. Rock Solid called me a son of a bitch, so I told him he can tell it directly to my mom. Oh, okay. He's a son of a bitch, so the mom is a bitch. So he's going to tell it directly to his mom, who's a teacher, and nobody's ever won a fight with her, ever. Understood, Joseph. Understood, Joseph. Rock Solid, it sounds like a trap. Rock Solid says, Joseph, I may have a super chat now that directly responded to you. Wow. Dan23 says, YouTube settings are in all different places. It's annoying. It is annoying. And you know what else was freaking annoying? Getting all this stuff done was just setting up the goddamn page. So obviously when you're live, it comes featured content. It's at the top here. But when you're not live, then the latest videos I've got at the top. And then if under those are 4 of my biggest playlists. So this is where live and unlisted is. So like this live stream, even though I'm going to unlist it after it's done, you can still come to my channel. And if you click live on unlisted, view full playlist, you'll see all of the most recent live streams, whether they were Bed Life, Deep Space Nine, City Skylines, or Star Trek Saturday, or Black Friday's Dear Bop, whatever it is, they'll all be listed in here. So that's really one great place to find them. And then there's more specialized stream playlists for like all Star Trek videos, all rant and review videos, Bed Life, and you can see more of all the different playlists. It took quite a while for me to get the hang of it, of how the channel's all meant to be. But I hope it worked, and you know what? It seems to be working, because we're up to 1,531 or 32 subscribers this morning, which is a new record for the channel. So, knocking wood, hopefully things continue to keep growing. Knocking out making those live streams unlisted did definitely help. I didn't want it to, but it did. It helped. T-Berg says we're all Grand Moffs of the system. M says Qapla, M, welcome. Abadam says, man, I'm hungry. I thought I might have to get my ass off the couch to go make me a sausage sandwich. I do love... Nope, not gonna say it. Abadam loves juicy sausage. He tried to trick me. Thomas's Space Engineers is dead. Final result, 3-1 rounds Turkestan. About 10 draws due to glitches. No. Okay, I'd say it's 2-2. Turkestan, Karoga. I say Karoga definitively won the last 2 rounds. In fact, I think we might have even won an earlier round. I think we might be messing. And I say without cheating as well. So once you throw the cheats in there. Thomas says, I haven't played Space Engineers in a week and I haven't heard from Chris. You and Anti-Tracker need to find another game. Honestly, I don't really want to go to another game. The time I have now is really all I have. It's better going to videos. Because even I was so tired today, I ended up sleeping early. I took a nap like 11 a.m. to noon or 1 o'clock. It was totally knocked me out. So I don't know that I have a game I could put hours into a game at this point. I like City Skylines. We'll do those when I can do it. But I'm not in a rush to find a new game. And honestly, I don't think Anti-Tracker is either. So I don't know what the deal's going to be with City Skylines. It may have worn out its welcome. We'll see. I think if there was, I don't know. I wish we could do Space Engineers with no teams. No teams. Everybody's in their own faction. And they have a limited build, a limited PCU. And that's it. Now you can make your own alliances with other players, but that's it. Like everybody gets maybe like 25% of the PCU that we allowed per faction this time. And that's it. Everybody is on their own. And you build yourself a base, you build yourself an attack ship, and that's it. You do the best you can, and you just try to survive. That I'd like the best. Carlo says, hi, I hope everyone is well. Hope you are well, Carlo. Aberjam doesn't have Space Engineers. The best he can muster is Astronaut. I never heard of it. Joseph says, rock solid, hope all in good fun. Dan 23 lols. T-Bergs has got to work on Super Mario Kart version of Space Engineers. More fun. Dan 23 says, Star Trek actor Robert Walker Jr. died on Thursday at the age of 79 in Malibu, according to his family. Yes, we covered that earlier when the stream just first started. Very sad. The actor who played Charlie X. John DeMarco says, it's a sad thing Star Trek, etc. is in such a state. We'd be excited to get a mess series. We would. It's also sad that, unfortunately, in the next few years, Captain Kirk, William Shatner, Uhura, George Takei, and Chekhov, Walter Koenig, are more than likely going to pass away. It is some of them, are older than others, but these are the times. This is when it happens. It's going to be. It was very, very sad when DeForest Kelley, he was the first to go. I thought it was super ironic that the character who played the oldest, he was the oldest human. Obviously, Spock was older, but McCoy was alive in the TNG in Encounter at Farpoint. McCoy was still alive. DeForest Kelley was still alive, playing a 136-year-old human being. And he was the one who passed first. And then James Doohan, who wasn't in the best of shape. I don't think that was a giant shock. And now Then Leonard Nimoy was quite a while. Leonard Nimoy was quite a while between James Doohan and Leonard Nimoy. I don't know if when Shatner goes, I don't know what I'm going to do, because it's going to be a very hard day for me. It's going to be a very hard day. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be a hard day when Uhura and Koenig and Takai, or I should either use their real names or their character names, not interchange. When Nichelle Nichols or Walter Koenig or George Takai pass, those will be sad days too. But when Shatner passes, I don't know. It's gonna be a tough day. And of course, then when I say it and there's no promises in this world, right? There's no promises that I will outlive William Shatner, but it's possible, and then of course, the Next Generation crew is gonna be coming up next, and it wouldn't surprise me if one goes earlier than expected, because in any group of people, one usually does go early. So, like with the JJ and a freak accident killing JJ Chekhov. A freak Jeep accident. Don't trust those new Jeeps. But yeah, it's gonna be sad. It's gonna be sad. Roxanne says, Joseph, of course, I mean, you're not a dictator, so you have that going for you. Surf Tronic says, CBS and Disney gave us Stockholm Syndrome, so they can produce mediocre shows and we all think they're great. Surf, it's funny. I was also going to bring this up, but CBS's best Star Trek currently produced right now is Young Sheldon. And I know a lot of people don't like Young Sheldon, but they did an episode last night of Young Sheldon where he was in a full Vulcan uniform, a Spock uniform, playing Mr. Spock on the episode, and it was great. It was funny. It was a good episode. And I don't know if they do it all the time because I'm not watching CBS that often anymore, though I do watch it on occasion. But it seems like, and only during Young Sheldon, when the CBS logo comes up following Young Sheldon, or even during the commercial breaks of Young Sheldon, the CBS I, or whatever it is, turns into the Starfleet insignia, the Starfleet Delta that we have here. It just turns from that to a black Starfleet Delta, which I thought was pretty interesting, pretty cool. Now, it's only started doing that recently. I don't know if that is more recently since Viacom and then merged or what. But even 6 months ago, the very best Star Trek episode we had gotten on CBS in years wasn't from Star Trek, but an all Star Trek episode of Let's Make a Deal. Wayne Brady is a giant Trekkie. All their guests, 90% of the guests were wearing either TOS or TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager uniforms. Like 2 people had on Discovery uniforms. They brought somebody down who was an old school like TNG Klingon, and she even insulted the Discovery Klingons. Although then they did bring down the actress who played the main Klingon on Discovery, but being she didn't have on the official four nose, frickin' four nostril prosthetic they make them wear on Discovery. And she spoke in Klingon just as a human that was just, as a human actress. She sounded a hell of a lot more Klingon than she ever sounded on Discovery. Which just makes me think it's their prosthesis faces that make them sound so ridiculous on Discovery. But yeah, that was the best episode of CBS Star Trek in 5 years or longer, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it's been since Enterprise has been off the air. And it came not from the people who brought you Star Trek, but from the people who brought you Let's Make a Deal. And then the second best didn't come from Star Trek either, but from young Sheldon. Oh, that's crazy. It's crazy. Yosef is lolling at Rock Solid. Rock Solid loves listening to Jadzia talk about astrophysics. He could read me the LCAR's instructions manual. Yosef says, Surf, I totally agree. They are treating us like a slow-cooking frog. They serve us crap so that when something mediocre comes along, we're happy as it was the best thing ever. Well, that's true. That's true. And then I put in the link to the change.org petition. John DeMarco says, excellent choice for the sticker. Thank you, John. Rock Solid says, Dongo, I can give you some friendly advice. Go through your video titles and fix the spelling and capitalization. It helps in the algorithm. Very cool. And Thomas says, put sassy sticker on your forehead. Well, there is enough space, isn't there? Yeah, there is enough place. But I think I will forego putting the sassy sticker on my forehead. Dan During These Bird of Prey, what would you like the next Star Trek Kelvin timeline movie to be about? Well, as it's going to be Star Trek 4, I would love it to be about time traveling back to current year 2019 for some reason to save the Earth, or not to bring back humpback whales, but for some other reason, something they can only get from the early 21st century, and they land in 2019 San Francisco, and they're literally dodging poop and seeing crazy SJWs and like just make it a freaking comedy of how terrible San Francisco really is right now. And they can just joke about, man, this place really gets cleaned up. I can't believe this people ever made it out of this century. They will never, ever do it. But Jesus Christ, if they ever had a mandate, if there was a better movie in a better position to go back to 2019 San Francisco, make fun of everything woke, make fun of everything, the entire frickin' woke culture, they could do it, and it would be hilarious, and it would be the best Star Trek Kelvin timeline movie there has ever been. Will they do it? Absolutely not. Should they do it? Absolutely. Thank you. Actually, that's a great question. They should go back, right, to, like, because it's, I liked that Star Trek 2, that JJ Trek 2 mirrored Star Trek 2. I liked that. I thought it was a good idea. Like the future, even though it's been changed, like destiny always finds a way, or it has a way of occurring, even if things are different. So even though things are the same but different, I would like Star Trek 4 to have, at least on the outside, the very same, premise that they have to go back in time. So maybe they don't go back in time in a Klingon bird of prey. Maybe they come back in time with the Enterprise, or the new Enterprise, or, well, technically the Enterprise got destroyed, right, at the end of 3, so they could be any ship that they have to go back in time with. But that's what they need to do. Rock Solid says Frank had a sassy tattoo on his left butt cheek for Freddie, but it wasn't of a dog. Wow. Mike Richards' new petition, change Uncle Bertie's Happy Fun Time Hour. Plays Benny Hill theme song. Rock Solid says Kronos was at his stream on Saturday night. Very cool. Again, I'm sorry I missed it. Rock Solid says, so Frank Sinatra was a watchman since the Watchmen suck ass and all. No. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey, which is it? Sucks ass. No, doesn't matter. It's not Frank Sinatra. Bird of Prey needs to do his sites in Comic Sans. I love Comic Sans. I know people hate Comic Sans, and you know what? I don't care. Comic Sans is like the best freaking font ever created. Not Ryan Johnson says, geez, I forgot I signed the petition. John DeMarco says the graphics look good, Bert. Thank you, John. Not Ryan Johnson, hashtag sign the petition. Cinnabon says, be right back, running to the store. Any bets if Bird will be caught up by the time I get back? 20 minutes late, so maybe. Not Ryan Johnson says, spread the word, get the petition signed. Aberjam, he's 25 minutes behind. Dan23 says, so using a Bird of Prey is not copyright. It's not copyright that anybody cares about. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, greetings, birds, turds, and alpacas. I missed the stream. No, Wes, you didn't miss the stream. I'd barely begun. Joseph says, Joe is like 30 minutes behind in the comments. Rock Solid says, Joseph, the stream is just 30 minutes old. Wesley says, Joseph, he reads comments now. T-Berg says, hey, Wes, down to 6 days to die. Aberjam says, Bird enjoys knocking wood. Joseph says, nothing too unusual for him. He was behind the stream started. Yes, that's true. Joseph says, who does not? Aberjam, that's a good question. Rock Solid says, without cheating, I call bullshit. What? Rock Solid says, another game. Let's get some use your word Jackbox games going. I'll host. I'm all for it. But those don't count as Space Engineer replacements. Thomas is Rock Solid Productions. Without cheating, it's 14-0 Turtlestand. Bullshit. Wesley says Rock Solid sounds good. Do it. Rock Solid says, Thomas, you are correct, sir. T-Berg says Bird of Prey have a special Space Engineer events quarterly. That might work. John DeMarco says the games are fun, but pulling out more produced videos is better for the channel. Yes. Aberjam says, Joseph, I think interesting way to have a sword fight. Rock Solid says, Wesley, I'm thinking of Sunday or Monday evening will be the next stream. Sunday's a hard evening, Rock Solid. There's a lot of channels that go Sunday nights. As I'm sure Anti-Trekker's going to do Sunday nights now, too, since he made like $1 bajillion last Sunday night in Super Chats. Wesley is getting cold. I'm sorry, Wes. Thomas is okay. Well, from the Anti-Tracker and Bird of Prey Alliance and destroy you and Anti-Tracker, says Thomas. Rock Solid says it's not Doohan, it's Doohan. James Doohan. It's not Doohan, it's Doohan. Cinnabon is back. Welcome back, Cinnabon. Aberjam wants Dear Bop. Yes, Dear Bop will be very soon. Dan23 says Star Trek Generations, Kirk had it in the Nexus, had been in the Nexus. That is true. Joseph says I have only a dagger, Aberjam. And Thomas says he still hasn't seen you leaving, Cinnabon. Cinnabon lolls. Aberjam says Joseph, it's cheap plastic one with the writing on it. T-Berg says a doomed crew being a male on Babylon 5 cast. Lol. Joseph says it makes even robots seeing red. Wesley says, Cinnabon, I think I'm getting a cold, or at least I was just super tired. Sorry to hear that, Wes. Aberjam says, T-Berg, what have you got against Babylon 5? Rock Solid says, Young Sheldon is terrible. Why, Rock? And you know what? You think lots of things are terrible. T-Berg says, I'm just saying so many mails have passed on from Babylon 5 cast. It's just almost the ladies left. Sad, I love the show. Not sure I can stomach a redo. Well, men do tend to die before women, so. It's the age gap. Abajam says, Joseph, you stick your dagger into robots. I thought only Lando did that. And Abajam says, I've got Ivana sign my box set, but forgot to take it to the con. Still got a great photo, though. Ivano signed my box set. T-Berg says, Ivanova is a god. You must listen to Ivanova. And T-Berg says, even ancient races. These must be Babylon 5 characters. I don't remember. John DeMarco says, 2 more examples of the show. Star Trek should be made by people who actually care about it. Wesley Bird of Prey, did you get your nap stream? Bird nap stream. Well, I got my nap earlier today. I did not stream it. T-Berg says it's the new Bird of Prey show, Napster. Aberjam says, of course, Inova actually existed. Mikey Spock was the first woman ever to set foot on a spaceship. Dan23 says CBS is showing Star Trek logo after different shows. Okay, so it's not just Young Sheldon. Thank you, Dan. Yosef says, Aberjam, like in Japan destroyed me, I need help. Life in Japan destroyed him. He needs help. T-Berg says, my avatar photo is what happens when Kirk tries to say the word discovery. Oh, I don't think I can see it right now. Abadam says, Joseph, you need a pen. No. John DeMarco says they should do that time travel idea in an episode of the Orville. That would also be great. Rock Solid says, Sigh, we're never getting to Dear Bop. We'll do Dear Bop, and then we'll do the rants I wanted to do yesterday. So I'm only going to do the Dear Bops that have come in already. I'm not going to do future Dear Bops. We'll have to wait. Maybe we'll get back to them at the end. Well, meaning that if people put in Dear Bops after I started today's show, they'll have to wait till Monday, or maybe I'll get to them at the end of this show, but I don't think so. No.
It's a fake.
T-Berg, sci-fi fan with a $10 Canadian super chat. Thank you so much, T-Berg. Says, happy holidays and Merry Karogamus. I love it. I love it. Merry Karogamus to you, T-Berg. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You see, I don't call your money fake like a certain other YouTuber. So, Canadians, feel free to send your hard-earned dollars to me, right? And certain other YouTuber whose name I won't use, but who looks like a poop, he calls them fake. Now, I'll grant you, your money still has on a foreign queen, but so I won't hold it against you. Nope, not going to say that term. Looks like your pick was Kirk's first date with nope. T-Berg says, holy cow, I've forgotten about the Orville. They need to get out of the black hole that sucked the Doctor Who from my mind. Showmore says, Bird of Prey, believe they'll go back in time and they will mention the Orange God Emperor as the cause of the global war and responsible for global warming. Orville might. I doubt Star Trek will. Aberjam says, John DeMarco, Orville already did time travel. That is true. T-Berg says, Kirk is wearing a shock collar. John DeMarco says, that's true, but it sounds like fun. Aberjam says, T-Berg, Doctor Who sucked your whole what? Dan 23 says, in one episode of Big Bang Theory, Sheldon was Spock at a Renaissance fair. Yes, it was. And in fact, the young Sheldon reminded me a lot of that episode. T-Berg says, I have no interest left in Doctor Who, just Orville, Expanse, Killjoys, and Mando, says T-Berg. Wesley Bird of Prey, it's 4:50 as I'm posting this. What time is it there for you? It is 5:57. So I'm 7 minutes. 7 minutes behind. Sci-Fi Nation, greetings, Bird of Prey, Mile Prey, Sassy, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Sci-Fi Nation. Roxanne says, if you're keeping scores, Bird of Prey uses AOL, email, and likes Comic Sans, and he's a website developer. I'm not saying I'm a professional website developer, but I do websites. Okay, and I'm not saying that I'm going to give you a website that you're going to love. I'm going to give a website that I like. T-Berg says it's 5:40. T-Berg says 5:49. Aberjam says, I can't wait for Bird to hit 100K and stops reading comments. Oh, probably stop reading comments a lot sooner than that. But no, I will always try to read comments because that's what you guys come here for. Wesley says, Dear Bop, do it. Wesley, if the more comments you put in, the longer it's going to take to get to Dear Bop. Rock Solid says, Young Sheldon has none of the comedic chops that Big Bang Theory had, Bird of Prey. Big Bang Theory was great because of the ensemble cast. I just find Young Sheldon cast annoying. Honestly, Rock Solid, they've kind of grown on me. I actually really enjoy the cast. I like in that they brought a college professor in, the guy who played the Grand Nagus. Honestly, I like the entire thing. I like Georgie growing into a capitalist and a salesman, and he's doing it all trying to chase a girl, and how religion plays a life in Sheldon's life. The only thing that's different is that in Big Bang Theory, I got the feeling that Sheldon's dad left them, and I don't see how the character that plays Sheldon's dad in this TV show would ever purposely leave them. Now, he might pass away unexpectedly, but I don't see him leaving them. Stromore says it's just, and thank you, T-Berg, for the super chat again. Stromore says just Lando and Captain John Newcomb, woohoo. Sheridan left alive from the main male B5 cast, though thankfully Walter Koenig is still alive, aka Altered Beaster, best recurring character in sci-fi. Joseph says Aberjam, another one. Rox Odds says plus there was something about Bernadette. You something you liked about Bernadette, or you disliked about Bernadette? I guess you must have liked Bernadette. There was one episode of Young Sheldon where we got to see the young versions of the entire main cast of Big Bang, including young Raj, young Leonard, young Bernadette, young Amy, young Sheldon, and young Penny, of course. They didn't meet, but we got to see where they all were on one particular night. Dan23 says they wanted people who don't watch Star Trek to watch new Star Trek, so they don't write and older fans want. Same with Star Wars. Yeah, probably. Aberjam says, Joseph, oh, you finally woke up. Lol. T-Berg says, I will find the most unpronounceable currency and start donating to Anti-Trekker's currency. He'll just call it, fake space dollars or something. He won't bother. Joseph says, I'm listening here. It's almost midnight. I'm really tired. No midday nap like certain bird. Okay, Joseph. We'll try to get you to sleep with some Dear Bops. Okay, we're here. It's time for Dear Bop. We'll see what happens. Rock Solid, love Bernadette. There's photos of her wearing a catch suit. Wow. And she puts Jerry Ryan to shame. Wow. Okay, Rock Solid. Well, that's good to know. I assume. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We have to bring, okay. Give me a second, I've got to fix the Dear Bop window. Inbox, no. There we go. Okay, so there we got some Dear Bops. Roxas says Bernadette was a naughty kitty. Wow. Wow. Okay. So here we go. We've got, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10 Dear Bops to do maybe. First one. Dear Bop, do you have any videos or could you share your thoughts on Star Trek Continues? Thanks, the novel writer. I don't have any videos on Star Trek Continues. I watched maybe 3 or 4 episodes of Star Trek Continues years ago. The script seemed good, but honestly, I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. Maybe I will try again. I couldn't get over these people pretending to be the characters I had grown up with. Well, you know, that I didn't maybe necessarily grow up with, but I couldn't take seeing these guys pretend to be, you know, Kirk and Spock and Chekhov and Sulu. It just, their acting, I don't know. I don't know if it was their acting or just me having too much, expecting too much from a fan film or fan shows. I couldn't get into it. I wanted to get into it. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I know it makes me a bad fan. But it was like, wow, I tried. I will try again at some point. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's probably not what you wanted to hear, but not the biggest Star Trek Continues. I also watched, what was it, the series, they did another one, like a different group, what, series 2 or something, and it was the same problem. I mean, the designs were good, the sets were good, but I couldn't. It just wasn't believable. Dear Bot. Okay, this is the serious one. Dear Bop, I don't want to volunteer. I don't want to drag others down in the abyss that is the depression of my life. Bankruptcy isn't an option. I couldn't get a home like I have now, which I would lose. I'm tired of failing, tired of hurting, tired of being taken advantage of. It's now 5 days after Thanksgiving, and my almost adult child still hasn't returned any of my calls or texts. But if she needs something, guess who's the first one who gets called? And if I say no, I'm the a-hole. I'm tired. My parents both died young, 49 and just past 70. If I don't even wear a seatbelt when driving. Know what I mean. Now, if I drove a Jeep, I would die driving to work. Oh, that's probably true. The older I get, the more I understand Robin Williams. And for Christ's sake, anti-tracker, pay Miles already. Okay, so first off, Mr. Miles, I believe, unless it was anti-tracker pretending to be Mr. Miles, did say that anti-tracker actually did give him a pretty good, he gave him 100% of the ad revenue most recently. So I think Mr. Miles might be okay. So don't worry about Mr. Miles. As for Robin Williams, I honestly don't think it was the fact that he hung himself. I think that's what they said he did, because I think it was an accidental hanging due to, autoerotic asphyxiation. That was that there was some info on that, but they don't want to put that story out, so they put the story out he hung himself, which he probably kind of did, but it wasn't on purpose. I don't think he was intending to die. Just be it. But to telling me that you don't wear a seatbelt when you're driving, that's not good. Not because listen, you're telling me that you don't care about living. That's not the same as saying you do something to kill yourself. I get it. It's not. But what if don't wear the seatbelt, and instead of walking away from the accident, you end up a quadriplegic? That's bad. That's worse. You're going from bad to worse. Okay, there's no guarantee that because you're in an accident, you die not wearing your seatbelt. Wear your goddamn seatbelt. Okay? If you don't care about dying and you want to take up extreme sports, if you want to start skydiving, bungee jumping, those freaking cliff dives and shit, that's what people do. People who no longer get a feel out of life and they just need to feel something, they take up extreme sports. I'm not saying to do it. I wouldn't do it. But if you're really at that point, not wearing your seatbelt, that's just going to get you in a worse position than you are now. If you need to feel alive, jump out of a plane with a parachute. Jump a bungee cord off a frickin' top giant bridge. Do something like that. That will get you to feel alive. And if it breaks, if the bungee cord snaps or the parachute doesn't open, it's not suicide. It's just a big accident. Preferably, you'd get out of depression. And I don't think that's the way you need to live life or should be living life. But it's better than driving around without a seatbelt. As for you not wanting to volunteer because you're afraid you're going to drag somebody down into the abyss with you, that's just not going to happen. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You might think it works like that. You might be like, oh, I'm so depressed. How am me helping somebody going to do anything but hurt them? And I understand why you have that feeling, but the truth is that is a false feeling. That is not how it works. If somebody is at the point where they're asking for that type of help or they could use that type of help, you volunteering is not going to bring them down in any way whatsoever. So if you don't want to volunteer because you're selfish or whatever, that's legal. I mean, listen, there's no law that says you're not allowed to be selfish. Billions of people on this planet are selfish people. So you're not required to volunteer. But saying that you're not doing it because you don't want to get them depressed, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. You're not somebody who really needs help, and you go out and you help them clean their driveway of snow, or you help them, you drive them somewhere. You're a driver, you can drive, you drive somebody somewhere, you help somebody clean up a house or put together furniture or change a light bulb, like Mama Pray says, change a light bulb if they can't reach it. If you hang out at the grocery store and just reach high items that little old ladies can't reach, whatever the hell you're doing, you're not going to bring, right? Mama Pray goes to the supermarket. She can't reach half the fucking things on the shelf because she's 4'11" on her best day. Okay, and there's things that are like 6 feet high, and so she's got to wait for somebody from the supermarket to come over, and they bring a freaking ladder, even though they don't need a ladder. And they, you know, when I go through the supermarket, I just reach up, take whatever I want when I could walk. And I mean, even if you're not the tallest person, if you're taller than 4'11", fucking go to a supermarket. If you see somebody reaching for an item, just pick it up and give it to them. They'll be happy. They'll smile at you, and you move on. You don't need to do anything else. Okay, you're not going to bring them down. Bankruptcy. If it's not an option, it's not an option. Obviously, I don't know your particulars, but I do know that in most states, if you own a home, you don't lose your home in Chapter 7 bankruptcy if your payments are up to schedule. And if you can continue making your mortgage payment, you don't lose your home in Chapter 7 bankruptcy in most states. However, if you're not up to date, then the reality is you're going to lose your home anyway, in all likelihood. So bankruptcy or not, it's really not going to make a difference. But I am sorry, money issues are particularly hard because you're just thinking, you know, why me? Why, you know, what happened and get here? But you know, for bankruptcy, but there are services, places you can talk to that can give you more info on that. As for your almost adult child, only calling you when she needs something, that actually doesn't seem all that unusual. It doesn't seem all that unusual. The fact that she still calls you when she needs something, it actually means a lot. If she was totally sick of you, if she hated you, she wouldn't call you, period. Okay? Since she only calls when she needs something, it sounds like she's a typical teenager, more obsessed with her own life than thinking about other people and thinking about parents and whatnot. Maybe you weren't like that as a kid. I wasn't like that as a kid or as a young adult. But I know someone who was. Very close. Okay? And they may or may not grow out of it, but it doesn't mean they don't care about you. It just means that they are somebody who gets really involved in their own lives. And they just think family's always going to be there. They don't realize family isn't going to be there. That there's a day it's not going to. So you're not in a unique situation there. There are millions of parents in this country who have near adult children who only call when there's a problem. That's not unique. In fact, I dare say that's almost the norm. That it's the exception when adult children call just to say hello to their parents. Yeah. Near adult children call just to say hello and just to talk and just to say, oh, how you doing, Mom? How you doing, Dad? How was your day? You know, I'm doing good. I'm this or I'm that. That's the rarity. The kid that only calls when they need money, or they need they need to know how to get out of something, or they need to know how to cook something that they've never cooked before. That's the standard. And while I understand that from your point, parents dying at 49 and 70 seemed young. For a lot of people out there, they'd kill to have their parents live to 49 and 70. Dad O'Prey passed away at 61. Mom O'Prey's parents, they didn't make it to 40. Dad O'Prey was 60, not 61, 60. He was only 2 months into 60. 2 or 3 months into 60. Yeah, 2 months into 60. So, do I think Dad O'Prey died young? Yeah, but I don't. Knowing what Mom O'Prey went through, losing her mom when she was a little kid, and her father before she was married, in her 20s, it's felt like a blessing to have Dad O'Prey for as long as I did. So now, if you're in a family where everybody lives to their 80s and 90s, I can get it. I understand. I know there are families out there where a 65-year-old kid still has both of his parents alive. And I scratch my head because that is not the norm in the O'Prey family. But I understand for some people it is. So I don't want to put you off, but listen, getting 49 years, a 60 average of 55 years out of your parents, that's not too shabby. I would say that's probably par for the course. Mom O'Prey would like to. Okay, but come by the microphone.
It's not actually addressing the problem exactly, but on my thoughts, and maybe because I lost my parents young, I don't know, but I always felt you expect to outlive your parents. You have a 50-50 shot of outliving your spouse. The one thing you never want to do is outlive one of your children. To me, that is the worst thing that could happen to a person. I have lived through almost the worst. To be honest, I have lived through hard financial times. I have lived through losing my parents. Losing my baby sister was the worst. It affected me for years. I mean, she was 32. She wasn't a baby when she passed away, but she was not only my baby sister, but my best friend. And, like I said, financially, my life has been a roller coaster. But the highs were never that high. You live through it. You find a reason. Your child don't call you. That's unfortunate. You need to build a bridge. But your child is there to build the bridge with. If she doesn't need anything, that's great. I'm not saying your issues aren't devastating to you. And just talking to people helps a lot. So don't give up. Keep talking. Keep trying to find a way. That's all I've got to say. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. You said some things I certainly would not have. Good perspective from Mom O'Prey. And Joseph says, hi, Mom O'Prey, the true inspiration. So I hope that helps you. And, if there's more you want to talk about, let's talk. I don't feel bad. I don't think of this as bringing down in any way. I think somebody said that last time. This is what this is here for. Dear Bob, remember giving out advice when you're not remember, giving out advice when you're really not a certified life coach is a crime. I never claimed to be a certified life coach. Is a crime. On the internet, do not recognize Kurogan certifications because Kuroga sucks donkey balls. Speaking of balls, why are you so obsessed with Frank and Freddie? Some guy. Okay, well, some guy. First, I've never said I was a certified life coach. I'm a certified life expert by the Kurogan Department of Expert Certifications. As for whether there's no law about the internet recognizing any particular certification or not. However, by Kurogan law, it is legal and valid. So you can suck those donkey balls. And there is no Frank and Freddie. It's Frank Sinatra, period. And other people prefer Freddie Mercury, period. That's it. There's no such thing as Frank and Freddie. And he took away a spot from somebody who might really have needed help. Dear Bob, you're an editor, right? Why the hell couldn't you edit Brie Larson out of all of her movies? You suck. Waste of money. P.S. Epstein didn't kill himself. You know what? I'm going to put Brie Larson into more movies. How do you like them apples? I'm going to edit Brie Larson into Star Trek V. It's going to become an even better movie. That's there. How do you like them? How do you like that? Brie Larson. Editor. By the way, yes, I agree. Epstein didn't kill himself. Dear Bob, what's the best way to remove dried SJW brain matter from a leather boot? Also, is the meat safe to feed my dog? First, no. The meat is not safe to feed your dog. It can have mad SJW disease. It lives in the brain. Oh, Malopre is saying that there is no brain matter in SJW brain heads. So I don't know. See, Malopre might have a different. So if you actually have brain matter, it might not have been an SJW. But if it's a true SJW, maybe it looks like brain matter, but it's not quite brain matter. But either way, no, that stuff is pretty infected. You want to keep it away from dogs, animals. You can't even use it. You can't even use it as feed or anything. So just the best way to get rid of it is fire. Fire. You gotta burn it. Burn the boots. Burn the boots. Get a new pair of boots. You go to Zappos.com. Use my affiliate link on JUOT.net. You can get a few percents. I'll get a few percent of the sale, and you get a new pair of boots. It's a mind-controlling amoeba. God damn it, amoeba. It's a mind-controlling amoeba. It could be, but it's not considered a brain anymore. Mama Pray has spoken. Dear Bob, hello. My name is Nancy S. I have a dark secret of my husband. He had a love affair with another man. My question is, should I tell the public or keep it a secret? My husband died in 1998 and was a famous man. I miss him dearly. Thank you for your advice. Love, NS, wife of FS. Okay, F you, whoever wrote this. This is bullshit. No, these are not boots made for walking. Okay, this is not Nancy Sinatra. There is no, if your husband had an affair, you should probably keep it a secret. Okay, if you had an affair with another man and he didn't make it public, you probably shouldn't make it public either. But that would be your call. But this is bullshit. This is not Nancy Sinatra. So I don't give a shit. This is fake news. Dear Bob, Greg here. Bob has a huge plug stuck. Your last advice did not help. I advised duct tape because he said it was too small. He says he is fine, but it's 2 days now. How should we remove it? ER is not an option. He is too embarrassed, since we would have to go for the 3rd time since July. Okay, Greg, here's the deal. Butt plugs, from what I understand, they're generally made of like a metal, like a stainless steel, I guess, or something. So metal contracts in the cold. So you got to get yourself some dry ice, or even preferably some liquid nitrogen. Now you're gonna have to make sure Greg is suspended. Bob is suspended like between 2 chairs or bed, so that his butt plug is hanging down, and you want to put this bowl of liquid nitrogen or dry ice, just so it just contacts the plug and no skin. And within a few minutes, it's going to get really cold. It's going to get really uncomfortable for Bob. But within a few minutes, the properties of the metal, it will shrink, and you need to be wearing gloves because it's going to be cold, like cold that'll burn your fingers if you touch it cold. So wearing good insulated gloves, after maybe 5 minutes or so, that plug will shrink down, 10 or 15%, and you should be able to pull it right out. So there you go. Preferably liquid nitrogen, dry ice, if you can't get liquid nitrogen. Regular ice is going to melt too quickly. So yeah. That's the advice. In fact, that's basic science. Honestly, I'm not even sure. Surprised anybody even had to ask that. Dear Bop, how long did it take for you to become so fluent in Spanish? Any tips and tricks, BB? Yes, well, I don't know if you've seen my latest Dear Bop. I've been putting Dear Bop, what are those things called? When you advertise. Billboards. Dear Bop billboards in Spanish-speaking neighborhoods. So it's the Dear Bop graphic you see behind, but it has a big C hablo español on it. In case I get any español Dear Bops, I can also give advice. Now, yeah, the problem is I can't give the advice in Spanish. The advice I have to give in English, but yeah, si hablo español. Now, yes, I do have some tricks for learning Spanish. Watch The Simpsons. Watch an episode of The Simpsons that you know front to back, word for word. And then Simpsons episodes, in the United States at least, are broadcast SAP, which is secondary, Spanish secondary audio, or secondary audio channel, whatever it means. So on your TV, you hit SAF button, SAP, and you hear the secondary audio. So you'll hear the characters speaking Spanish, even though you'll know what they were saying in English. So you watch the same few episodes, like your 5 most favorite episodes that you know all the words of, the entire back to back to back. Watch them in Spanish, 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 times. However many times a week you can do it. I recommend at least 20 times a week. And yeah, in no time you'll be speaking Espanol. And as long as they use words that were used on Simpsons episodes, which there are enough Simpsons episodes that, eventually you'll have a pretty substantial vocabulario, if you get what I mean. Vocabulario, excuse me. So that works. It's real. That's true. That is true. Can I speak Canadian? Asked T-Bird. Sí, mucho Canadian as well. No, not Dora the Explorer, T-Berg. That doesn't work. T-Berg says Alberto. Yes, Alberto. Alberto hablo. Alberto, si hablo español. And the last one for today, though I'm not ending the stream yet. Dear Bob, I'm an 83-year-old actor, and I'm a little out of touch. When I was a young man, gender fluid was something you cleaned up with a tissue before your parents got home. Why are all these kids so obsessed with who I'm screwing on any given day? I'm just an old man that wants to grow fat and old, trim the roses, and eat pork pies, and maybe screw a robot once in a while. Why don't they leave me alone? Well, even though you didn't sign your name, you should probably, take the advice here of old Billy D. Williams, old Lando himself here. He was in the very same predicament, apparently. The whole internet thought that he was gender fluid, but what he actually said is, what the hell is gender fluid? And he didn't mean to say he was gender fluid. He just says that he's a dude that's in touch with his feminine side, as some, women need to be in touch with their masculine side. But he's not gay. He's very clear that he's not gay, and, he likes chicks. So, we'll just call you Billy, even though I don't know who you are. But Billy, what's the question here? As to why people are so interested in who you're screwing, that's just Twitter. That's just how Twitter and the media work. In truth, nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Although, if you claim to be screwing anything but women, you'll probably get, and I know you're already a star, but let's face it, you're at best a B-list celebrity these days. At best. So if you did claim that you were gender fluid, and you could go either way, you could probably get a lot of sweet seats at restaurants, and maybe probably get invited to some bigger events, maybe get invited to the Oscars or something. I doubt your name's on the list anymore, if it ever was. So, it doesn't hurt. Assuming you don't mind, throwing your arm around some guy and just saying, here's $50. Don't just pretend that we like each other, but don't you dare touch me or kiss me or anything. And maybe if you like it, you like it. Then you can get those things for free. But nobody cares. Nobody cares who you're really screwing. It's just Hollywood's talk. No, subtitles don't work, actor, because you have to be able to understand the language. Now, if there's English subtitles in Spanish programming language, that's fine. That reinforces it somewhat. But you can't do Spanish. Spanish subtitles would come later. That's when you have to learn to read and write Spanish. But just to speak Spanish, you're best off with Spanish language audio and either no subtitles or English subtitles. You can get away with no subtitles if you know the episode really well. But if it's an episode you haven't seen much, then the English subtitles help a lot. So that's true. And for Billy here, you know what? I'd just be happy you're alive, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. Nobody wants to see you kissing anybody. Frankly, you're too old. So just go be a quiet guy and yell at a cloud, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay. I got a couple more. So let's finish these off. Dear Bob, urgent, stuck in a milking machine. What am I supposed to do? It will stop only after 5 liters are in. Urban Farmer. Urban Farmer, I assume you have your cell phone because you probably typed this. Place like a Grubhub or an Uber Eats order. Get a lot of soup because you're going to need a lot of hydration to be able to make that 5 liters of liquid. And just let the machine take its course. Just keep ordering, preferably liquid-based foods until it's over. You'll be all set. If you call a doctor or 911, yeah, you're likely to get too embarrassed. But if you just keep calling different food deliveries, you can live this one. You can get past it. No one has to know. Dear Bop, you are one brave man and a real inspiration. I also want to become a YouTuber, but have a face for radio. How did you overcome this limitation? Future competitor. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I have a face for radio and I have a voice for newsprint. So I actually had double limitation. I overcame it by just not giving a shit. That's how. Just go on and say. In the very beginning, I don't think I showed my face, but then I did, and I think things got better once I did. I think that people actually prefer sometimes to see less attractive, down-to-earth, normal people. In fact, I think sometimes people like to say, well, at least I look better than that person. And that actually brings in a bit of an audience. So, yeah, don't, just do it. Just do it. Huh?
And the first time I go on, I have what do you figure they do?
Model Prey. It doesn't work like that for Model Prey. No. This is for us.
Younger people.
For younger people, it works like that. They're coming to you for wisdom.
That's
yeah.
good.
No, just honestly, just don't let it bother you. There's always going to be somebody who looks better than you, and most of the time there's going to be somebody who's worse than you, but not always. You might be the worst one in the room, but you know what? The worst one in the room is at least a distinction. It's a lot better than being the second worst in the room. So don't worry about it. You'll be fine. It's all in your head. Dear Bob, I got bad news today. I impregnated the sister of a local mob, and I know he disapproves of me. I'm afraid I will be killed in a gruesome way. What should I do now on the run? Oh, I wouldn't run. I would not run. First off, you impregnated the sister of a local mob boss. He's not going to kill you. No. Because you're going to owe a lot of money. You got to work hard now to bring in money to raise that baby.
Hi,
so,
DJ.
Mom will pray and saying hi to DJ. No. I don't think it's DJ. But even if it was DJ, I'm just saying that you're probably the only person in the country right now who the mob boss would not kill. Because now you owe his sister. So you kind of got like protection. You're pretty protected. Until that kid turns 18, you're safe. You got another 18 years. Just don't run. If you run, we can't protect you. You stay and you contribute, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. A plastic mask and a voice modulator, says Hector. Maybe. People are still putting in. Okay. Dear Bob, regarding parents dying young, you had mentioned that I may not have to worry about retirement based on how old my parents were. I'm hoping I don't outlive them. That's terrible. Mama prays outside right now. I'll tell you this. The only thing that made me really not want to die when I was so close was knowing how terrible Mama Pray and Dad'll pray, especially Mom'll pray, would feel. Mom'll pray had already lost both parents, a brother, a sister, and she'd later go on to lose her husband. I could not do it to her to die. Losing her sister almost put Mama Pray, it broke her. It broke her for a long time. And God forbid I had died, she would never have recovered. The only thing I have to do on this earth is outlive Mama Pray and outlive Dad'll pray. And I already did one. And now Cicero Pray's having a baby, so now I'm going to have some moral thing to do that. Also, I had to outlive Grandma O'Pray, who's 94 now. So that's who I got to do. It's you owe it to your parents to outlive them. To do your best you can to outlive them. Once they're gone, hopefully you're in a place where you don't want to die, and I hope certainly not. But Jesus Christ, don't do that unless there's no reason. But your number one job, your last job, your only job, if it comes down to it, is to outlive your parents. And if you're hoping you don't outlive them, I'm sorry, but that needs some more. That requires some more intervention or more help than I can provide. But I'm here to talk, and if you want to talk, if you want to put in one day, and it's something I won't read on the air, after today, if you want to put one in, and you want to give me some contact info, and you want to talk or something, we can talk. We don't have to do it on the air. These all don't have to be broadcast. But yeah, that's not great. Regarding my child, yes, for everyday life, I understand it not being a priority. But to not answer calls, texts, and send calls to voicemail, you can't candy coat that. That's shitty any way you look at it. Plus, only calling when she needs something. That's the sign of a user and a narcissist. Well, I don't know, obviously, the full details of what's going on. You would know better. But I can assure you there are many almost adult kids out there who don't necessarily use drugs, if that's what you mean, or just use people, but they use their family. And there's someone in my family who treats their family less than you would hope, but man, are they ever, to their friends, they're the most helpful person in the world. Their friends have no idea that this person treats their family differently than they treat their friends, but they do. Okay? For their friends, they're there for anything. They're helping to do anything with their friends. But for their family, for whatever reason, it's like, yeah, take a number, I'm not sure, and don't ask me to do anything more than a day in advance because I don't know what's going on. So, just because they are not, just because they're not understanding to you and not giving you the attention that you deserve, and I say you absolutely deserve it, doesn't mean that they treat everybody like that. They can actually be pretty well-regarded people. It's just for some reason, and I always have treated family different. I think we all do. I treat family different, and frankly, I treat family to much higher standards than I treat strangers, because I expect more from my family. And some people, they expect the family's always going to be there, so they don't have to do things. And It's crappy, but it is. But if there's something you want to talk about privately, feel free to do this offline, and I will take a look. But yeah, I'd say that prior statement needs some investigation. Dear Bob, I can tell you are a highly intelligent man with exceptional taste in music. What is the best Frank Sinatra album of all time? My wife and I disagree. She loves Freddie Mercury, but I want to give her the best of Frank Sinatra. Music lovers. It's actually a pretty cool question. Let me bring it up. Because the album I picked up of Frank Sinatra was probably the best Frank Sinatra album ever created. And yes, this is what it is. Well, they've got a new one. Actually, they have a new one. Oh, that's vinyl. So there's this album called Ultimate Sinatra, which is relatively new. That is pretty damn good. Ultimate Sinatra is, and you can see I actually purchased this in 2018. This is a pretty good Sinatra album. However, the one that I purchased the first time, great, now you're seeing some of my history. Sinatra in Hollywood. Let's see. Let me see. It's probably actually one of my first. Oh man, my Amazon history goes back to 1999. George Carlin. You know, I might not have bought it from Amazon. That's probably why. The best of Frank Sinatra. And I misspelled Frank. I think it's called My Way, the best of Frank Sinatra. Nothing but the best. Best of... Here it is. My Way, the best of Frank Sinatra. I'm pretty sure this is it. Now this one, I think, has 2 CDs. This one, I think, only has 1. What are the songs on it? My Way, Strangers at Night, Theme from New York, I Get a Kick Out of You, Something Stupid, Moon River, I don't remember Moon River, Where I Need Now, Summer Wind, Love and Marriage, They Can't Take That Away From Me, My Kind of Town, 5 Minute Moon, I Got You in My Skin, Best Is Yet to Come, It Was a Very Good Year, Come Fly With Me, That's Life, Girlfriend and the Ladies. Yeah, this is it. This is probably it. This, I think, was the first Sinatra CD I ever bought, or something very much like it. And it has, I would say, some of his very best his very best songs. However, if you've got the extra dollars, get the My Way Best of Frank Sinatra limited edition, which has 2 CDs and it has twice as many songs, pretty much. And every one of these songs, for the most part, is a frickin' masterpiece. I mean, these are the best of Frank Sinatra. So, the My Way Best of Frank Sinatra limited edition, if you had one album to buy, is it. But if it's only one disc to buy, then you can get the non-limited edition for half the price. So, yes, I hope that helps. Now we'll get back to Dear Bob. Dear Bob. So yes, music lovers, that's the way to introduce someone to Frank Sinatra. And we've got 2 more. Dear Bob, you misunderstood. My parents are both dead. Oh, okay. Understood. Well, I understand now. That's still sad, but I gotcha. The offer stands. Dear Bob here. Greg was singing Let It Go from Frozen as he went down to the store. What did you tell him to do about my plug problem? Don't worry about it. Just get nice and relaxed, Bob. Just nice and relaxed. Put on some relaxing music. In fact, I don't often say this, but stop watching my stream. Go to YouTube and search for relaxing sleep music. It's like a 24/7 stream of relaxing music. Just listen to it, let your body get relaxed, and then just let Greg handle it. You'll be okay. It'll all be over in a few minutes. In a few minutes, once Greg gets back from the liquid nitrogen store, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Okay. So. That's it for the Dear Bops for today. So we'll see if we get any more for next week. But let's see when I put them into the archive. There's a few things I wanted to talk about. So one, and this might be something you know about or don't know about, but I will put the link in the chat. If you have a Google account, you should go to that page. This page tells you what Google, excuse me, if you have ad personalization on, which I do. It tells you what Google thinks you are or thinks you are interested in. So let's see what they think about me. They say that I'm 35 to 44 years old, which is true. I'm male, which is true. I have no idea what Pond 5 means. I don't have the clue. Pond 5, oh, an advertiser shows, okay, so they're showing me ads from Pond 5. That's fine. I like action and adventure films. Sure. I like action and platform games. Sure. I like American football. Well, I don't hate it, but I wouldn't say I like it. So they seem to be in alphabetical order after Pond 5. Animated films. Sure. I mean, I like animated films. Apparel. Well, yeah, I order Star Trek shirts and custom stuff, yeah. Audio equipment, yeah, obviously I got my Blue Yeti, I got some headphones, I mean, audio equipment. Autos and vehicles, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm a Jeep fan. Beauty and fitness, no. Google estimates this interest based on your activity in Google searches. We're going to turn off beauty and fitness. That just doesn't, there's nothing about beauty or fitness. I could give crap about. The blues, sure, I'll take the blues. Boating, I've cared more when I've had a boat, but okay. Books and literature, yeah, I'm okay with books. Business services, sometimes. Cameras and photo equipment, of course. I mean, it comes with territory. Car rentals and taxi services. Well, I do actually order taxis from Mama Prey and even Sister O'Prey from time to time. Celebrities and entertainment news. Well, technically, if they're Star Trek celebrities, I guess so. Classical music, I don't hate it. Combat sports. Okay. Comedy films, absolutely. Anchorman, possibly the greatest comedy of all time. Comics and animation, sure. Computer and video games, definitely. Computer hardware, definitely. Computer and electronics, sounds very similar. Cooking and recipes. Actually, we have found quite a few recipes from Google. Country music, I would say that's you, but you don't sign in as me. You have your own. Country music, not my favorite, but not my least favorite. Credit cards, I mean, I have credit cards. I don't really search for credit cards. Cruises and charters, not in, it's been literally a decade. So I think we can turn off cruises and charters. Although this is just going to make it more effective for Google to advertise to me, so I probably should stop turning things off. Distributed cloud computing, why not? Dogs, yes, sassy girl, yes, they know. Drama films, sure. Education status, bachelor's degree, that is true, I have a bachelor's degree. Family, yes, well, I have family. Family films, I don't hate family films. Fashion and style. Yeah, it's almost as stupid as beauty. We're turning you off. Don't give a shit. Fashion and style. The best sneakers have Velcro. Fast food, abso-freaking-lutely. Folk and traditional music, I don't think so, but not enough to delete it. Gourmet and specialty foods. If Red Lobster biscuits are gourmet and specialty, then for sure. Hair care. Hair care. You know what? We might just have to leave that for the hilarity. Home and interior decor. I mean, only to the point that anybody who owns a house needs some minimal amount. Home automation, sure. Home improvement, why not? Home ownership status, homeowner, thank you, yes. Household income, high. Well, I would say that's debatable, but I'm not going to say I'm poor. Alexa, stop. I wonder if there's options. No, it's either have it or not. I'll take it. Indie and alternative music. Hell no, I don't want indie music. Goodbye. Investing, sure. Jazz, I like jazz a little. Job industry, technology, well, it was. Latin American music, yes, si hablo español. Local news, marital status, single, yep. Metal music, okay. Mobile phones, I guess. Movies, yes, I like movies. Music and audio, sure. New York City, I actually don't like New York City, but I live here, so I'll keep it. News, sure. Outdoors, yes. Parental status, not a parent. Good. Parenting, well, I guess I'm going to need some baby skills sooner than later. Performing arts, not really, but I'm not going to take it off. Pets, absolutely. Pet demographic. Photographic and digital arts, yes. Politics, yes. Pop music, Restaurants, sure. Rock music, yes. Romance films, meh. Science fiction and fantasy films, absolutely. Shooting games, yes. Shopping, who doesn't? Shopping portals, I don't know what the hell that is. I just go to Amazon. Social networks, a few. Sports, travel, I wish. TV and audio, yes. I like when my TV has video. TV and video, yes. TV comedies, absolutely. TV dramas. The Orville's kind of a drama. Star Trek. TV family-oriented shows. Star Trek of yesteryear. TV, sci-fi, and fantasy, absolutely. USA. Is this just a country? Yes, the country, yes. Visual art and design. Women's interests. No. I don't really have women's interests. Google estimates its interest based on your activity in Google services or searches. Well, I sometimes search for things just to complain about. No, I'm not interested in women's interests. And world music, hell no, I'm sorry. We've got enough. Frank Sinatra is not world music. I've turned off 6 things. So there we go. You guys should check out what Google thinks about you. No, mob ties weren't there. And boobs were not there either, Hector. If they were, I would have left. I would have left them. Qapla, Mr. Londell. Qapla. Hi, Caddy. Is Caddy here? Vile Child is here? Oh, Vile Mike is Caddy is here. What's up, peoples? What's up, Caddy? When's your next video? By the way, check out Caddy's Corner on Vile Mike's eBay store. And Caddy, if you have a link to the store, you can put it in. Okay. So, couple of news items. I don't understand why this guy got suspended. So, speaking of American football, 49ers broadcaster who said the Ravens' Lamar Jackson was helped by dark skin with a dark football is suspended. But if you read the entire quote, he said that it was a combination, and look, you have a dark football, dark skin, and a dark jersey. And it makes it easy for him to fake, easier for him to fake, what's he doing, which way the ball's going. It's just basic, your eye. If you see something dark moving across a dark background, it's not as easy to see as opposed to the San Francisco jerseys, which are white. Regardless of the skin color, if you have a dark football moving across a white jersey, regardless of skin color, you can see it better. If you have a white guy in a white jersey, but the football's dark, you can see it better. If the football was all white, then it would be the same problem. This was not a racist comment. Okay? He didn't say that it was inferior. He didn't say that Lamar Jackson was in any way inferior because of his skin color. He was pointing out a fact of life, that a dark-skinned person wearing dark-skinned clothing, carrying a dark object, it's harder to see where that dark object is going or pointing than somebody who either has light-colored skin on a dark background or a light-colored ball on a dark background. This is just basic facts of science and nature. There was no hate, right? Hate had nothing to do with this. He wasn't hating anybody. He didn't say this with contempt. He didn't say this with hate. Just the mere fact that he had the gall to mention an African American skin was dark, right? It's like saying the night sky is black. And like, oh shit, he said a racist thing. No, it's not racist. It's not racist to point out obvious facts that should be obvious when you are a commentator commenting on a sport. What the hell else do you have to talk about but shit like this? Okay? And it pisses me off that his fucking team, that the San Francisco 49ers, sold him out. They suspended him. They sent a frickin' apology. The man did nothing wrong. Okay? I'll be honest. This is why I don't watch the NFL anymore. I'm tired of their fucking politics. And excuse me, I'm sorry. I'll try not to curse. But I'm tired of their politics, huh? I have a child. Oh, Katie. I'm sorry, Katie. Close your ears, Katie. Close your ears. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is bullshit. It's bullshit. This guy has been a long time, and I don't know who he is, but he was a long time commentator. He was just pointing out something basic, and he's suspended. He'll probably be fired, and on top of it, people are saying he's racist. This is bullshit. There's nothing racist. It shouldn't have ever been an issue. This should never have gone anywhere. Whoever heard this the first time, they should have, if somebody complained, they should have told them to go F themselves. This isn't something you complain about. Yeah. And this is why the NFL has to get the hell out of the U.S., because this is why they're losing fans. Vile Mike says it's okay. She went to the bathroom. Okay, good. Okay, here comes another one though. And it's Tinder lets known sex offenders use the app. It's not the only one. Now understand, this is coming from a headline where it says dating apps, woman calls for background checks after she says she was assaulted. I can't use the R word too loudly. But, you know, R word, raped. She was raped by a sex offender. Mamo Pray gave me permission. So YouTube, Mamo Pray gave me permission. She was raped by a sex offender on Tinder, and she is, if you read the story and listen to the news, she was shocked. She said she couldn't imagine Tinder allowed sex offenders on their app. Did you get a background check when you went on Tinder, lady? Did they ask you for a background check? Did they ask you for a social security number? Did they even ask you for your frickin' home address? I don't think they did, because I signed up for Tinder a few years ago just so I knew what the hell swipe left and swipe right meant. And I used a fake name, and it signed up in like 2 minutes, and there was it. I had access to Tinder. Okay? Tinder don't give a shit. It's a free app. And you should know that the fact that they don't tell you, hey, we're running a background check on you, then you know they're not running a background check on anyone else on the app. But even more, why should Tinder be responsible for this? If you met someone in a bar, or you met someone in a bookstore or a Starbucks, guess what? They could be a rapist, right? If you meet a guy in Starbucks and he rapes you, and I'm sorry, that's terrible, but if you meet a guy in Starbucks and you go back to his house right from Starbucks, which is what she did on the first date from Tinder, she went right over to his house. That seems a bit fishy to me, but I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying that's not something you should be doing regardless. But if you were at Starbucks and this guy's like, hey, you want to come back to my place and we'll sip our freaking cappuccinos or whatever the fuck Starbucks sells. And you're like, yeah. And you go back to his place and he rapes you. Do you call on Starbucks to start putting in background checks before people are allowed to come into Starbucks? No, you don't do that, because you'd be an idiot. Because I'm sorry it happened. You probably could have prevented it using a little bit of your own preventative measures, but it's not your fault. It happened. It's totally his fault. If it happened as she said it did, which I'm not disputing for the sake of this, I'm taking her word for it that she's at least being honest that it happened the way she explains it. Yes, it's very shitty, and yes, the guy should be in jail, but it's not Tinder's fault, okay? Tinder's just an app. It's a free app. They're not going to start background checking everybody. And if they did, the amount of people on Tinder would be cut substantially. So you probably never would have had a date to begin with. And you probably wouldn't have gone on Tinder either, because you probably wouldn't have gotten drunk with your friends one night and just decided to sign up for Tinder. Plus, you're going to start complaining, why was this guy out of jail? If you read this, he was twice convicted of rape. He was convicted of rape twice before. He had raped 2 people, gone to jail 2 separate times, and been released from jail 2 separate times on 2 separate rape convictions. So this was his 3rd rape in a row. And yes, this was New York. New York, the state I live in. God damn it, New York. De Blasio. Cuomo. How many times do you have to rape a woman before you don't let him out of jail? That's who she should be complaining to. Andrew Cuomo. Bill de Blasio. Not Tinder. Tinder didn't fail you. Andrew Cuomo, Bill de Blasio, all the judges in the state of New York that have let out rapists after, 2 years? 2 years? You go to jail for 2 years for a rape? What the hell is that? And then they're back on Tinder as soon as they get out looking for number 3. Tinder's not the problem. You're the problem. And the politicians are the problem. Tinder. Oh, they get mad at Tinder because Match.com, which apparently owns Tinder. I didn't know. Match.com owns Tinder, owns Plenty of Fish, and a couple of other free dating sites. While Match.com, you got to pay good money to be on Match.com. Match.com's not cheap. You pay good money to be on Match.com and eHarmony. Those companies that you pay, they apparently run some type of basic background check on everybody on the system, but that includes men and women, just to be fair. She just expected that Tinder, a free app, was going to do it, even though they clearly didn't run a background check on her, and she would know they didn't run a background check on her. So why would you think they run a background check on anyone? Oh, because you bullshit. She didn't know who owned Tinder before she got raped. You think she told me, you think she knew? She's like, oh, well, I know Match.com owns Tinder, and Match.com does background checks, so clearly they've got to be doing it on Tinder. Bullshit. I call bullshit. There's no way. Nobody reasonable would think that. If you thought that far, you would have thought enough to Google and says, hey, does Tinder do background checks? And you got a big fat no across the screen. T-Berg says rant factor 8.5. Bailiff whack his... What were you going to say? Yeah, there was a shooting this morning in Pensacola. Very sad. Yeah, nothing to rant about. But yeah, it's just sad. Yeah, there was a shooting at I think it was a naval station or something. Naval Air Force, Naval Air Station in Pensacola. Mama Praise checking the news now. She just found out about the Pensacola shooting. So I think that was the news. The news things I wanted to get through. So I'm going to go back to read some more comments, and then we're going to call it a stream, because I know Anti-Trigger tried to get on early. Actually, I don't give a shit. Anti-Tracker one. No, Anti-Tracker tries to stream earlier. I don't know if he will be streaming earlier tonight or not, since he doesn't appear to be in the stream, but I don't want to go too late. I do have to eat dinner and take a pill. So let's go back and see if there were any Bird of Prey 5 comments. Joseph says, Bird of Prey, you were actually correct with the how-to because I learned both German and English from TV. Absolutely, Joseph. Listen, not everything on Dear Bop is fake, okay? In fact, quite the best, quite most of it is absolutely true. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, did you see the Bernadette link above? I did, Rock Solid. When Mamo Prey was talking before, I looked at the Bernadette link. I get it. I get it. I'd still say, I would still put Penny above her, but I would say Bernadette is a close second. Physically, okay, we're not talking, because I mean they're both actors. They're nothing like what they play on TV. Only physically. Track 95 says Bird of Prey, the special edition with a duet with Freddie. No, there's no duet with Freddie. I will always love you. No, that doesn't happen. And then Caddy came on apparently. You haven't even finished watching the next episode and the script's not done. What are you waiting for, Vile? Vile preferred Windows 3.11 for work groups. Wow. What are you talking about, DOS? DOS 6. I had DOS 6.22. Rock Solid says Joe's about fitness and sandwiches in his mouth. Well, yes, I do like sandwiches. Rock Solid says, seriously, Bird of Prey, Anchorman is terrible. Shut up, Rock Solid! I don't know what the hell you're smoking or drinking. Anchorman is the best comedy that's ever been created in the history of mankind. Possibly second only to Airplane. But goddamn, it is the best comedy since 1989. Okay? Anchorman is amazing. The entire movie is nothing but hilarious quotes. Okay? There's no unfunny lines in Anchorman. I'm in a glass cage of emotion. He punted Baxter. The bad man punted Baxter. He will read anything you put on that teleprompter. And I mean anything. You stay classy, San Diego. A whale's vagina. Then Baxter comes at the end. He's like, you ate the whole wheel of cheese. I'm not even angry, not even upset. I'm impressed. I've been coming to the same party for 12 years and I'm not, or something like that. And I'm not down at all. Okay, that line I forgot. But the entire movie, hilarity. Anchorman is a great comedy. Okay, Jesus Christ. You don't like TOS, you don't like something else, and you don't like Anchorman. Well, are you even a Star Trek fan? Are you even a Star Trek fan? Maybe you don't like old video games. Maybe you only like new video games, right? Maybe you only like Pokemon. Maybe that's what your channel should be about. Pokemon and frickin', I don't know, what's a new video game? And Red Dead Redemption 2. She is welcome, Vile. She is welcome. Yes, there's the link to eBay store in Caddy's Corner. Joseph says Bird Rant for the win. Donnie Pearson, welcome. Dice says Jeepers H Creepers. 09A Team says it was dumb. It was true. All white QBS would wear black gloves. If it was dumb, if true, all white quarterbacks would wear black gloves. Well, their arms would still be visible. Aberjam says, song from Frank Bro Freddy, I got you under my... Nope. Rockstar says the XFL's coming back. Yes. Yeah. Trek 95 says, Vile Mike Bird is crazy. What crazy? I'm just opinionated. Another fool wanting a nanny state says, yeah. Tinder needs background checks for bunny boilers. Wow. End of online dating, says Vile. You know what? Okay, Caddy is back, so we're going to... I missed it. Oh, so we're going to finish watching the next TOS episode so I can write the script to record. Later, folks. Take care, Vile. Take care, Caddy. Thomas is Bird of Prey, a Saudi Arabian soldier doing flight training, shot people in Florida. They are looking into terrorism. Oh, man, I did not realize that. Well, it's didn't change the number of people killed or anything, but that sucks. Joseph says, I took all of you with me to bed. It's 1:17 a.m. here. Listening but putting the phone down. Qapla, all, and thanks, Bird of Prey. Have a good night, Joseph. Have a good night. No one asked Bird his top movie pick. Well, it's probably Star Trek 4, in all honesty. Roxanne says, Anchorman is terrible. Don't you dare even mention Airplane in the same sentence. Airplane is a masterpiece. Anchorman is shit. Wow, Rock Solid. Wow. Okay. Well, now I know your kryptonite. It's Anchorman. And Trek agrees with Rock Solid. Oh, man. Bruce Almighty. Miss Lundell says Airplane is the greatest comedy of all time. Top Secret is close third after Airplane 2 for a classic comedy. And then it's a mad world. Well, classic comedies, I'm not necessarily against that. But modern comedy, Anchorman. Period. The end. Green Day had one good song. Rock Solid. Aberjam says McClunky. Yes, and with that, McClunky, we're going to end the stream. Qapla, everybody. Thank you for showing up. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed some Dear Bops, some rants. I hope you liked the new channel art. And I guess that, yeah. Don't take anything personally. Yes, don't take anything personally. If you're a rapist on Tinder, I didn't mean to insult you in any way whatsoever. Take care. And Qapla. Dumb and Dumber is not better than Anchorman. Okay, Dumb and Dumber isn't a bad movie, but it's not better than Anchorman.
Comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything BirdoPrey5 on the web.
Anchorman.
You can also check out my forum at
JUOT.net.
I'm also on social
Road
media,
Trip,
on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me.
You like this? Mamo Prey likes Cheech and Chong.
Or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.
What were some of those other movies? Oh, Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory. Talladega Nights was a lot better than I gave it credit for. Lots of good movies in those days. Dodgeball. You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball. A lot of movies from that time. Ferrell is crap in a lot of things, but I loved him in Anchorman because I felt like he was playing. It felt like he was playing more of a what's the guy who plays Austin Powers? Mike? I don't know. It felt like he was playing more like the actor who plays Austin Powers. And Austin Powers is also another great comedy. But it's not nearly as new. So, that's it, guys, though. I'm done. I'm out. Take care. Mike Myers, yes. Yes, it felt like Ferrell was channeling Mike Myers in Anchorman. And in the movies where he does that, I love it. But in like the SNL skits where he was a freaking, I don't know, like a cheerleader or something, I mean, that's the most god-awful, cringy shit I've ever seen. Ferrell is hit or miss. Okay, when he plays Alex Trebek on Celebrity Jeopardy, amazing. And that's a lot like the character he played on Anchorman. Amazing. Elf, I was like, ugh, no, I don't like Elf. I don't like the one where him and his stepbrothers or something. But Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory, all good stuff. Anyway, guys, take care.